the third and bringing him in. I don't care what Scott Morrison says. That does cause a little disruption within the group.
What did you think about it?
Huh? Scott Morrison, I should say. What was it? Clear, and you're sitting around training with a guy that knows that's going to get the boot. It's awkward. It's a little uncomfortable.
What would be the thinking behind doing? Jason Randall, unfortunately, on the other hand, his woes are continuing. Dieng, nice drive and scores.
It's been a nice little response here.
Yep.
From the break.
Ball back into the hands of Ousmane Dieng. Tip back out. Here's Seaver. Breakers will play Sunday in Bendigo, country Victoria. There's Dieng. Splash.
Now, can they get us? They've almost reversed roles, and Dan Shamir's the one now that's up and about on a regular basis, and Ousmane Dieng just, I'm telling you, I see Kyle to do whatever he wants. Now, whether that's fatigue or a strategic issue, I think you need to change the strategy if you're just going to allow him to do what he wants. That's not working.
Cannot get it back into single figures, Liam, as you say. Wetzel and Dieng. Nice finish.
Good read.
Good. And they've weathered the storm with some offense. Like you said, after that timeout, and there's a defensive breakdown.
Ousmane Dieng misses the 24% three-point shoot.
And instead, here is Seaver. Dieng for three. Now they'll push. Pass for Wetzel. Missed him. He ended up getting it back. Dieng, little floater, nonchalantly was able to get it to go. It wasn't a great set there, Homicide, but they were rebounds for the Taipans early days.
They gave us some Majuk Dieng.
Here's Dieng. Great pass by McDowell White, able to find the young man right in front of his bench, and he drops it down. Trying to weave his around his defense, but Dieng again. Yeah, it's going to lead to a nice little throwdown. One-hander by the next star.
And this is just an impressive first quarter end of it. You want to see that end result, how they lead.
Here he is. Little two-foot stop. Wasn't overly pretty, but he's able to bank it in. He's in the double.
Agree.
Dieng crosses over Pinder, gets to the bucket. This is a totally new player than the one we see start the season. It's Dieng. Narco went under. You heard Dan Shamir talking about it from the sideline. Hassan guarded by Pinder. Dieng, great cross-court pass. He couldn't get it to go. Dieng guarded by Pinder. Little spin, can't get it to go. Simmons fighting Simmons, trying to find Basson. Shot clock's down to three. Dieng's going to have to get to work. He's aware of it. Step back three. And the shot clock is kept alive. Abercrombie was able to get a hand to it. Off the miss, here's Dieng. Great first half. Continues it there. Little floater was tough. Clock is off for the Breakers. No, it's not. Shot clock at 7. Only reset to the 14. Here's Dieng, he's going to go to work, crosses him over, but Pinder has the last laugh.
Before the
Santa Maria with a 5-point lead.
Yeah, nice way. They got a response out of that huddle when Adam Ford lost his biscuits and keeps their noses in front.
Last 2 seasons, and full credit to them for sticking at it. They are, in fact, they don't have a player this season that's played every game. They are the only team in the competition, not one, and certainly I would like to see something like that, Andrew. I know it's going to be tough to orchestrate that, but they deserve something. No one's going to begrudge them a win if they can prevail here.
And we talk about the players, and especially for me, I mean, to Jim McCall, of course, he's an interesting decision, but also Scott Machado. as Dieng scores off the board right there. You know, he's become a staple there.
He provides that target. Think about Jawai, he's a good passer as well. This is his size, can throw over defences.
Dieng outside, he knocks down the three. Let's get to Alex Loughton courtside.
Since he had 9 for the Perth Wildcats back in 2015.
Championship.
And he hasn't had a stronger start in the game since his rookie season in 2008. So, which they get so deep into the paint, got to do a better job of keeping the offense out of the paint.
That's a nice finish there from Dieng, as he gets it done and dropped for the moment. Shot clock rolls to single numbers now. Ousmane Dieng, 27% from deep this season. It's off the mark, and Machado the rebound. Here's a chance for Ousmane Dieng to show some athleticism, and with one hand throws it down. Back to a 2-point ball game. New Zealand challenged them at the moment. Now White, Dieng against Noi, got him going the wrong way and helped himself to 2 more. 14 in the game now on 6 of 9 shooting. The Breakers will restart here. Last play of the first half. They're up to the biggest lead in the game. Dieng looking to expand it. The 3-ball is off the mark. So after being down 7 at quarter time, with a chance here to retake the lead. Dieng had 10 of his 14 in the second quarter, closing in on his career high of 17 here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Comes up empty on this occasion. Middle State.
Change of fortunes in that third term. Snakes have their noses in front.
See the penetration. Dieng fires, and all the bottom of the net for Ousmane Dieng. 18 now for him. A new career.
In a normal season where you're playing at home, he's a high-level guy. We've seen in recent times what he's able to do. I'd be looking to bring him back.
He's missed 5 games this season.
Defensively, and those numbers are emblematic of those issues.
Shot clock to 3 for Ousmane Dieng. Decides to settle for the triple. Off the mark. Jawai back into the game, playing with those 4 fouls. So they're right in the competition.
They need a quick score here. A quick score, then try and get something in the backcourt. There's the quick score. Now pressure in the... Well, they time out, so they'll advance it.
81% free throw shooter. And this is the back end. So this for overtime. Dieng fires the 3-ball. Into the lap of honor. It wouldn't work. Thrilling finish.
So they can get the ball and try to score themselves. That never works. You got to stop somebody. You got to play some D.
Dieng, they are feeling it. They're almost unconscious. Dieng.
As a threat off those actions in the first half. But if they're going to play him single coverage in the block, you've got to give him some looks.
That's big.
Ousmane Dieng. We heard Mike Smith.
There it is.
There's the double team. Dieng has 2. Oh, kept alive. Be our first of what's a big doubleheader.
Wow.
This is something a little extra we haven't seen all year from Ousmane.
Had double-figure dimes in a game.
Wetzel was double teamed. Dieng, is he still feeling it? Wetzel on the rebound, keeps it alive. Wetzel, great pass, and Dieng easy able to throw it down with the 2 hands. Yanni Wetzel, middle of the key. There we go, onto the court for his first minutes as well. Guarded by Cotton. Uses the Rob Lowe screen and then punches it out to Dieng's first shot of the night. It goes down right in front of the New Zealand bench. No good. Rob Lowe's come straight in, making a huge impact, although that's probably what he wants.
You've got to take something away. If you give him choice between 2s and 3s,
You're done.
it's hard.
Dieng.
Mission for Bryce Cotton.
19 for the MVP. Dieng over Wagstaff. Long.
to 17.
And that hasn't been a strength of theirs this season. They've picked up the last 6 or 7 games, but Dieng from the 3.
It's just too easy. No one
Really hard.
Big night for Majuk, 8 points, 10 boards. Dieng, 3, no good, kept alive, only to the hand of the man I just spoke about.
They don't expect him to get back out. They're precautionary with a bit of hamstring tightness.
Dieng, step back 3. They need one of these to go down, or at least, at the very least, boys.
Game on Monday night, and they just get the match-up in ISO ball, and when you've got the 2 superstars, they're able to take advantage.
We spoke a little bit in the first half about Vic Law only having the 5 shots. Well, away we go. You hesitated, you called him. You said they would finish on the ladder instead. You go, Dieng being in great form. Can't continue it there. And Majuk.
JLA, Xavier Cooks, Vic Law. Somebody's not making it.
JLA won't make it. Great move.
JLA's MVP of the league. How are you going to exclude the MVP of the league?
If they continue to allow that to happen.
Law has 8. The lead is 6. Dieng, tough. Wetzel on the offensive glass.
Right.
If they can just figure out their import balance.
Great move. Dieng, just on that too, Drewy. Not just the fact that one-on-one with Delaney.
Great defense.
Wetzel got the hand in now. Dieng behind the back. Couldn't finish it. All that good work. Yanni Wetzel hit same. Undi to cut the 3-point lead even a little closer. Dieng spins on. Law hit. Great defense. He was able to pick it back up. And now Cotton's going to push. Wildcats running. 2-point Wildcat lead. 3.5 to go. Dieng, 3. No good. Long rebound. Run down by Cotton. Oh.
Great hands by Yanni.
Dieng, same spot. Different result. And the Breakers are back in front.
Running down, didn't get rattled. Throw up a deep 3. And here's what I thought was going to happen. Harvey King, Ousmane Dieng. That's a good take from the young fella who's just rising with confidence every single...
King lost it. That's what Siva wants to do here. Mr. Assists does it again. Hands it to Dieng. Timeout call.
Well, yes, the Sievers.
Straight back down the floor. Back out. Dieng. Wetzel. Dieng. Ton of space. Can't make them pay. Away to Ousmane Dieng, who got Hannah's in the air. Didn't let it fly. Going to have to now. We're down to 2. Danced inside and on the buzzer. Rattles it down.
Nice take from Dieng. Yeah, 3 bites at the cherry there. Adelaide up double figures in the offensive rebound count now.
And this time was Ousmane Dieng at the other end. Makes it work. So he's having some fun out there. Dieng. Bester in his grill and still pops it in. Brilliant.
Dieng. That's what I was just...
Dieng. Sizes up Soto. Puts in the long range. Duck can't get it to go though.
From outside. He's the only one who's hit one. 100%. 1 of 17. 6% from 3.
Dieng on the move. One leg up in the air with a bit of style points about it.
He has the capacity to play at a very high level.
Dieng's float is short. Lamar Patterson.
You know, they've been let off the hook. Brisbane have actually come down and missed some that you'd normally expect them to make.
Just a tip in from Dieng.
Shot them.
Dieng saw that he was guarded by Harrison, took it straight at him and scores.
It's a beautiful take by the young fella. You can see the confidence.
Randall threw it away. Dieng had to come in and rescue the play for 3.
And I mean, nothing but net. You knew how he sized it up when he got the ball. He was going to walk in.
Flyer, and to New Zealand's credit, they were able to work their way back into it. Turnovers.
Oh, young fella's hooping. We're going to have a good one today.
Well, Ousmane Dieng as well. He's smart enough to look at the bench and knows that the coach doesn't have a whole lot of alternatives. And when you see that, you can get some confidence. You know, you make a few mistakes, you're not going to...
He's got 10 points, the French next star. Not that time, though. Drimmick flies in for the rebound. Play through Dieng once more. Over the top of Salt, that's hard.
Ball. And offensively, he's getting it done, though. 4 of 8 from the field.
That one jumps out.
He put it to the deck and just powers his way through to the basket.
Good defense right there by Dieng.
They're switching everything now.
Brisbane have dialed up the intensity on the defensive end. Dieng, feet set, off target.
He's going to his own defense, but right now, just repeating what they're doing is not going to get it done. I think they need to look at a change, and that's a tough shot that goes in.
Part of the NBL's Indigenous round. He's spoken about what this round means to him and to be involved once again. Good to see him out there. Also good to see Max McKinnon again by Sivo, who gets up. Little flush to finish off, and then Dieng picks the pocket too. So a couple of late buckets for... What a signing that is for New Zealand. And a 3-year deal too. Dieng, speaking of big futures, this young man has come to play today.
Confidence.
This Dieng at the top of the key. 4 of New Zealand's 8 points. This time pulls up, knocks it down.
By the minute. You can tell. Go.
Galloway, nice find. Mark extra pass. The ball's moving for the Breakers. They settle with Dieng, who's got 11 in the opening quarter.
This is when you know scouts are in the build.
Oh, yeah. Dieng, he's looking really good. 11 points. Not going to go again. He's about 30 minutes away from an appearance on Corey's Instagram.
Dieng. It's been all him in this first quarter. That one doesn't go. Top. It's off to Dieng. Shot clock at 5.
Oh, beautiful.
Pass Bairstow off the window. It misses. Still 23%. Low cross-court pass. Dieng in the corner. Hasn't scored since quarter time. Breakers lead by 1. They can expand on that in this last play. Beautiful pass. Siva for Dieng. On the half-time
Trouble. Finlay's got 3 fouls. What can you do to try and go in and pick up a 4th one, and then everything else to try and get towards the rim, like the Breakers are? That's where they had success. Got to the free throw line 13 times in the first half.
Jack's NBL, the next start. Got an ultra-aggressive mindset today. Lowe gives the Breakers another look at it. Randall dropped it off for Lowe. He almost lost it. Dieng open. Not that time. Dieng pulls the trigger. Missing by a considerable margin. Not sure whether we laugh or be offended by that.
I've got nothing to say. Good pass there from Payne Siva.
He's speaking truth.
Definitely. And that's why it's so tough for a team that can shoot threes to just put the 3 in the pocket.
Oh, it's crafty from Dieng.
Nice take by Dieng.
Wins for the season, New Zealand. Find themselves down 1. Dieng for 3.
Payne Siva got away with carry. On that, Scott Rothwell's back jumpers. 3 of 27 from 3, and they're going to come away with a win.
Deliberate miss to take care of it. Tasmania has to do it the hard way. They take the show
Down, be patient, use your size, because Dieng's, what he's got going from that is his length. So go into his body, push him off the line a little bit.
Dieng can't complete it. Cooks grabs the rebound.
Putting the foot down, putting the ball on the floor and coming off those screens hard, turning the corner.
None of 4 from the field, New Zealand. They've taken 3 three-point attempts, and eventually the drought breaks as they get inside for their first score.
And away.
He's called 2 subs straight away. A very irate coach.
Well, those loose balls we highlighted in the first quarter, one ended up being an offensive rebound. They had an easy putback, and the other 2 ended up being 3 balls that got them going.
And nothing's gone well for New Zealand, but you can sense it. The bench is up, the players are up, and I think this next 4 minutes is huge. Now, we know we keep talking about, and there's that 3 again, and they've just got their step up now. And
about being good guarding the smaller dude, just couldn't get there in time, and easy layup.
Ousmane Dieng decides to go solo, can't finish it. Jarrell Martin the rebound. Number 8 for him in that category. Since half-time, in 8 minutes.
I've seen this a few times for the Sydney Kings.
Ousmane Dieng, that time well short again.
I know he just hit one, but
kept the Kings at bay in this third quarter, eating into the advantage. But again, they tried their luck from 3-point territory unsuccessfully, and the putback wouldn't go for Dieng either. But after
Should hit a couple of times and not getting the ball at the right time, but he can't let that spill over to what happens on the defensive end. Easy too.
there's Dieng. Defensive foul on Sean Bruce for the kick out, and in the end, it's an offensive rebound. Easy putback.
Ousmane Dieng in the corner, fires again, off the mark. Jalen Adams grabs the rebound, number 5 of their own in a row. And the margin back to 13. Shot clock to 5 here. Wetzel double team. Dieng once more. Drops another 3.
Well, Dieng's had a couple that
over. Besson. The breakers forward. Delaney, Seaver, Ousmane Dieng again. He knocks down another. He's hit 3 threes in the last quarter here. They're double-figure rebounds on average. Margin back to 15 as the Kings score the last 6 points here. Ousmane Dieng being busy. Tibin wouldn't work for Wetzel either.
Good early in games. He got lost and didn't really contribute in any other ways. He's found a way to really impact the game, not necessarily on the scoreboard as Dieng with a nice take there, rolls out.
Kind of been the tail of his
Finn Delaney.
Gets one out of the way early. Ousmane Dieng. Gets under the bucket. Worked over Sam Froling nicely, and he needed that.
Well, he did, and he was
losing game as well, by the way. 58 and a loss. Besson feeds it back out. Almost an air ball.
Ball pressure on, push him out of something. And there's Rathan Mays.
Dieng thought he had it. Jewett Reed said, no, you don't. Yanni Wetzel tried to turn, hands it back out, and it's working beautifully for the Breakers. Delaney gets it back, goes up, hands it wide. Dieng get another chance at it. McDowell White. Dieng, 3 left on the shot clock. He lost it, he got it back, and he dropped another 2.
That was better on the defensive end. That
Breakers are up and about. McDowell White. Dieng from the top. Left 3.
And they'll live with that. And yeah,
forward and giving themselves other opportunities late in the game to seal it. So holds it again today, and it's a 4-point lead early for the Jack Jump fans. Wide open. Talking about someone who would have liked the ball going through. I'm assuming a lot of them will wear their jersey. They're going to have to cheer for them for the Hungry Jack's Burgers. Dieng already has 1.
Well, that's a really, 5 of 6 from the land of plenty.
Martin, other end, great kick out. Dieng needs it right in front of Shamir, and the bench can't get it.
Behind Josh Majette, record with 8, and he passed up so many in the second half. I don't think Josh Majette's going to do the same.
Majette's going to 10 today.
You reckon Majette might give the little wink to Anthony Stewart like screen Hawley? They're getting whatever they want, whatever it is.
And that's because they know there's going to be breakdowns at certain points of the offense. Which is the most impressive part about it. As I keep saying it.
Takes the bump. He was down for a while. Could have been a 4-on-5. They're able to get it. Dieng!
Good finish by the...
Full extension. You're not blocking that. Maybe Krizovic.
Here he is. Can he take some confidence from the dunk?
No.
Not there.
But...
Bart's a little out of control. Shot clock's at 5. I'll get back to my thought in a minute. Here's Dieng. He's got to get it up. Gets to where he wanted to and is able to kiss it off the window.
Young fella's having the best game of the season so far. Dieng, great block. Again, the length.
He's feeling a little bit. Can he make it go? He can't.
Doing a really good job on the
In
defense.
the course of his season, he's been down to the level that we expect.
There he is. And it starts again. I'm going to continue to harp on it because we need...
9 turnovers on the night for the Jag Jumpers. Dieng feeling it. That air lob was no good.
I didn't recognize one player on that bench.
This Dieng, an early look for him. That's out of bounds. Just shooting the ball at
Blaney to get that scoreboard ticking over for him personally as well.
Vasiljevic starting today, which is fantastic. Made his return from an Achilles injury recently.
And down low, and Xavier Cooks taking advantage of it.
Dieng to the rack. He's had 3 opportunities, hasn't made any of them so far. The Breakers have time, not much of it, but they have time to manufacture a shot. Dieng from halfway, almost. It's Sydney in front. Seaver. This cross-court look for Ousmane Dieng. It's just not dropping for him. This Seaver on the... How White was onto it. Wetzel in a size mismatch. Beautiful pass cross-court. Ousmane Dieng couldn't make it count.
Step your game up and level up, and that spot is going to continue to be yours, or you're going home. So it's great to see him showing up, because that's exactly what's going on.
Playing really well.
Addicts, they're just a dangerous team.
Assist number 5 for Dellavedova too. That will be huge for the confidence of Ousmane Dieng.
Timeout onto that man. Denied him, as Stewie said, blew up those actions. Melbourne United got back on top.
Dieng for 3.
First quarters he's been okay, but throughout the course of games he's been poor. That'll help his confidence do the world of good.
Ousmane Dieng shooting the 3 ball at 9% for the start with today. The French connection of Besson and Dieng work together that time around. Dieng gets past Patterson off the dribble. Was aggressive but couldn't finish off.
From side to side before they look to get into that attack mode, and it's paying off for them. They're at 50% from the field.
That's not a good take from Ousmane Dieng. 6 points, 3 rebounds for Jack Salt. It's a way to play yourself into the lineup. Dieng rattles out. Delaney, O-board. This trip down the floor. Dieng got a fingertip on it. Kept it alive. McDowell White steps into the 3 ball. There's Dieng on the offensive glass. We want to see more of that from the next 10-point run for the home team right now. The Breakers have gone a little cold in this 3rd quarter. Dieng can't finish from close range. Timmins match. They've hung around. The first game since December 19. Dieng blocked by Sobey. Still working. Sobey still trying to make it hard for him. McDowell White coming into this game. Shot clock at 4 for the Breakers. Dieng catch and shoot. McIntosh.
Defensive glass, push in transition, finds the shooter open on the arc.
6 points in a row for Tasmania. Nice take, Ousmane Dieng.
Well, that's what Dan Shamir wants to see, and play before exclusively. As Dieng penetrates,
Not enough on it. Shut down pretty easily, and now Jack White.
From the three-point line. Here's the New Zealand Breakers. They are really, really good numbers.
Shot first. Comes there from Ousmane Dieng.
You throw the 6 turnovers.
Quick to break down in some of the rules that I'm sure they would have had in place.
Ousmane Dieng, good extension. Can't finish it, though. And another 3 from the field. Just roll.
It's a quick shot here, only a little over a second. Oh, gee, that's wide open.
Dieng off the mark. None of 4 from the field, none of 2 of deep.
Melbourne United for that. Held the Breakers to 3 of 19 from the three-point line.
It's been tough for them from deep all night.
New Zealand weren't able to pick up on that and get some help.
Ousmane Dieng once more, this time comes up with a finish. His first score in the game after missing his opening for half court to $50,000. That'd be nice. Would that come in handy? Just go to win.nbl.com.au and get involved. How about the defense now from Jack White? With help.
Between him and DJ Vasiljevic, who both had a similar injury. Great to see that the medical teams and the discipline that these individuals has as Dieng splashes the mid-range jumper.
They love to compete, put their talents on display, and being back on the floor after a really horrific injury like that, and it just feels so good.
Well, you don't know what you've got till it's gone, and when it's taken away from...
Around the Win Entertainment Centre.
Well, it better be Hungry Jacks.
Hits it up 4 times a week.
Good to hear.
Loves these Hungry Jacks. And there he is on the...
Our 5 I just named, we could have beat them. That was ridiculous.
Dieng missing.
What was that?
Well, we're going to see them.
Dwayne playing.
We're going to see them.
Slocum, the stat man. Only one team this season has led a quarter time, half time, and three-quarter time in a game, but lost. And that was New Zealand last week in Adelaide.
Oh, Mark kept it, had the mismatch with the young fella, and put him in the bucket.
Dieng's 3 jumps out. 2 of 14. In the 2 games that the New Zealand played so far against the Phoenix, their biggest lead at any stage was 2. They come out to play this afternoon. Dieng trying to create, had a foot in the paint. Deep on the 2 ball.
And that's mainly because they've got so many on the injured list.
Down White drives and dishes out for Dieng. McCarron.
So full credit to the Breakers with what they've done.
Thank you, Case. Spot on there about opening quarters. Dieng target with the 3.
But it's not like they've had, like even that last year, a couple more minutes on the floor.
Dieng blows past Malou.
That won't.
No, sir.
So the good that we saw down the other end with a nice dunk.
Oh, Dieng. Away from McCarron. 2 points on 1 of 5 this afternoon.
Up contesting. Fighting over the screens a little harder.
So is that effort and mindset?
100%. 100%.
Nice job by Rob Lowe to give the Breakers another look at it here. Dieng with a tough step back 3.
What a start from beyond the arc for the Phoenix.
Ousmane Dieng with a floater on the run. Brought down by Pino. Another rebound. See if Adams can make either look away, if you don't mind. The toe Smith-Milner. And rubs some salt into the wound. Brings the crowd to their feet. And Southeast hands it up. Wetzel take it back out. Besson, nowhere to go. Heads to the corner. 18 years of age. Doesn't get the bounce. Ousmane Dieng.
Because of the jump, bring him, and then they hold him.
So to tie it up here, can they finish it off? The Breakers from 13 down to tie it up at the half. Second. Dieng. Down White. See what the 18-year-old can do here. That's what he can do. That's why he's tipped to be hot. Dal White set it up. From outside the arc, they lead. The Breakers lead to the hand of the 18.
And that Phoenix can get any matchup they like with these switches that they're going on.
Ousmane Dieng takes on Joe Chi. Remember that name, Ousmane Dieng. See if the Breakers can get some early momentum back here. The reverse. Again, the rim is out. This time Ousmane Dieng. We've talked about a bit, but he had offers to play just about anywhere. University of Arizona, Oregon State, could have gone wherever he wanted to as he puts this one in. Cincinnati wanted him, Washington State for the last 7. Bring on the 18-year-old Dieng. And here is Dieng, the 18-year-old with the huge responsibility.
That was just too easy, as he said. Baby! Rocking the cradle a lot tonight.
From the corner, and Delaney gets it back and puts it in off the glass. Peyton Siva, Galloway, Dieng goes alone, not quite. Win the entire second half. Finn Delaney to the corner. Dieng behind the back. Into the paint, fade away 2, disrupted. Still the Breakers ball. Mark.
What's not to love about Mish Creek?
Dieng. Not get another chance.
Or making a nuisance of himself on the offensive glass.
A rebounding machine is Dane Pinot. No foul call. Dieng thought perhaps there could have been, but it doesn't matter. Plays through that.
Ticking the scoreboard over.
Now they run the floor. And an easy layup for Ousmane Dieng. Besson kicks it to Dieng. The Alpha snatched it away. Now back up top to the Frenchman. Pulls up from the elbow, that's deep. Tracks the crowd and finds Forsyth. It's been a fun little matchup this last couple of minutes, Seaver and Munford. Big rebound, Rasmus Bark. Dieng takes it at Tristan Forsyth. He's sucked. The Phoenix take the lead, 33-32. Dieng, all class, scores over the top of Cheat.
And he's smooth, isn't he?
Handy play to have at the end of the bench for Dan Shamir. Nice drive and finish from Ousmane Dieng.
That he's capable of doing it. Now, can he do it on a consistent basis at 18 years of age? That's going to be interesting to see. He catches in the corner there, can't hit it, but he's got a versatile skill set and playing with his in, especially in the first half of the year.
Galloway, offensive rebound, out to Dieng, showing his versatility with the 3.
Smart decisions. You know, he wasn't particularly efficient last year in France. As he attacks down the lane here, scores right over the top of Dane Pinot, but he is giving the Phoenix fits.
And it'll be New Zealand who lead at 3/4 time. 65-60.
Front of the rim. Really nicely done.
Tarangi called for a foul. In about 45 minutes from now. All live and free on KO Freebies. Just that length of Joe Chi. Dieng kept going. Tarangi came across with a help deep.
And again, Joe Chi doesn't do anything silly. And then again, Tarangi putting the fire out at the rim.
Dieng. Not that time though. we've got a number of new coaches in the league this year, Liam, but what you've just identified there is spot on. It's pretty clear to see pretty quickly what Chase Buford wants out of this. Come charging down the floor. Pass errant from Galloway. Seaver's got options ahead. It's thrown up for Ousmane Dieng.
I'm excited to see.
Not playing these first couple of games with a groin complaint. Dieng a little out of control. So we start the second quarter. Dieng late in the clock. Rattles off the front of the rim. Misses on the layup. Into the corner. Dieng open. That jumps out. Dieng has got long levers and used them to his full advantage that time.
Finishes in the blitz, and just like his brother, can play outside and in.
Dieng for three. He's had a couple that have jumped out of the cylinder.
A dozen right now, the rebounding count, and they've given up a double-digit offensive rebounds. Needs to be a point of pride and emphasis for Wetzel and the other New Zealand bigs.
He's got the starting role now, and that's his to have, and he's going to be expecting to have a big one on the score sheet as Dieng, first into the game, takes a three, well, comes up short.
Here comes Golding. Here comes Dieng. Ball handling responsibilities for the 6'10 Frenchman. Pull up, mid-range. It's off the back of the iron. Here comes Shayili. Looking to Abercrombie. Dieng, guarded by the veteran Brad Newley. Wheeling and dealing off the Sam Timmons screen. Pulls up from range. That's way off. McDowell White cleans it up in the backcourt for the Breakers. Abercrombie, Dieng in the forward spots, and Sam Timmons in the middle. Dieng wide open, and he drills it. Good find from Will McDowell during the offseason for the Kings. Here comes McDowell White. Timmons, Dieng. Great take from Dieng, and Sam Timmons with the putback.
Came up, set an on-ball, dove all the way down to the NBL logo, came back up, set another one, got the roll, and ended up missing the shot. But he is everywhere right now, making the most of his minutes. In and out, and he was done. That was going to be a bucket or a foul.
Here's Dieng. Short on the pull-up. Brad, the veteran. Can't hit there. 6-point game. Timmons. Dieng. He's open on the arc, and he can't make it count. Callum Dalton cleans it up.
Well, team.
Looking to work off Delaney. Spacing all out of whack for the Breakers. Dieng downhill to the rim. Foul. Count it. Ousmane Dieng, the 18-year-old. Wetzel's not playing this ball game. The starting center for their opponent not playing. He's going up against the backups. DP here in Sam Timmons, who earns his way.
Scoreless so far. Trying to get Hodgson involved. It was knocked away. Dieng had a runner, and it was Wetzel with the jam. Breakers have...
Dieng been outstanding tonight. Can he continue it? He can. Great pass. Finds the big fella Timmons. Might be a little, might have only been the 2, might be reading the wrong number. Either way, he's dominating the game. And at the other end, I can tell you for certain, that's a 3 from Payton. 7.5 minutes. Patterson wants to break down Wetzel. Wetzel did a pretty good job. Now Dieng will push. He's got Bassan for help, who just lays it in with the left. Wasn't much he could do on a 2-on-1. And New Zealand...
That time there, in traffic, just got the athleticism, the timing to still get those shots off.
Great move. Yanni Wetzel looked one way, spun to his left, kisses it off the window.
Tasmania won that one 84-75, and in round 9 it was 83-59. It's low for an easy 2. And in that game, the 59 scored by the Breakers was the lowest.
7 players. Gilman looked pretty exhausted against the Hawks at the end.
Time a blocking foul's been called on the Jet.
And as you can tell, foul trouble. Oh, that's early in the year. It was just couldn't get a handle on staying out of foul trouble. That's a real good pass again. You can clearly see he's moving better at both ends. He's playing above the rim, getting a lot more blocks in the last few games. Nice finish by Wetzel.
Clamping down on teams defensively, conceding just 70 points a game. They're the best defensive team in the competition. Nice ball movement, though, from the Breakers. They found a way through. Good foreman. That's exactly what they bought into tonight. Ball movement has a wide-open Martin. 4th 3 of the night.
And the great thing about watching...
13 against Illawarra and lost. They've been in this situation before and haven't been able to close out. Delaney for 3.
Right, we'll restart. Dieng gets it from Wetzel. Wants to go back in that direction. He was patient there. He got 40 in the air and comes up with the finish.
Rookie of the year. Dieng, the next star, checks in. Nice pass! Yanni Wetzel takes it upstairs.
Bringing the energy in the first quarter.
Breakers, different mentality right now.
Mismatch, you got to drop it to Wetzel. Wetzel got to go quick.
Turn baseline, draws the foul, and 1.
It's a great recognition. As soon as he's...
Martin. Dieng. Oh, my hand off.
What a pass.
The awareness, knowing Galloway was there.
Coach,
how you going, Liam? You caught up with him a couple of weeks ago, didn't you?
I'm okay. Right. Shout out to him, though. Nice play.
Oh, yeah, Galloway.
Dieng finds Galloway underneath. He's had it tough.
2. He's into double figures on 4 of 10. Besson, who was driving on the last possession, now stepping out.
In 2004, and for all that time, he's been doing a whole lot of that.
Transition buckets, defense not set. Brad Newley will make you pay as Will McDowell-White hits from the corner. A much-needed 3-ball.
To start the third for Melbourne. Newley can't finish there. McDowell-White, Ousmane Dieng finds Timmins. Oh boy! Dieng-Timmins combination above the rim.
Perth 1 of 5 in that same stat. Law. Hasn't reached any great heights. This opening quarter. To play in the 3rd quarter. Zunic puts the ball on the floor. That's long as well.
He's ugly. But the rookie figured out a way. Good pass. Good defense by him as well. Getting it done. Both ends. And he's playing with. It's great to see.
Machado, they went under the screen. And Dieng's in everything early. Delaney hit. Now Machado on the... Really the aggressive type of play by Machado. Got himself wide open, couldn't knock it down.
Adorned with magnificent Tasmanian Jack Jumpers logos. They wouldn't want to be in there anyway, but good on the Cairns Taipans, because this has been an enormously tough road for the New Zealand Breakers for the past.
Going inside, but defensively he also has to handle a lot of the switches on Machado. That round 11 win against the Taipans by 1 point, Wetzel was guarding Machado and worried him out of that 2 and got the win, so he does it.
Jar White, low reaches in, dislodges the ball. Shot clock about to expire. Machado must fire. Can't connect. So an opportunity here for the Breakers. Inside the last 60 seconds.
Need a quick one, whatever it is.
Big moment. He's equal to it. Courtney. 81% free throw shooter. And this is the back end. So this for overtime. Dieng fires the three ball.
Debo in outside to D. No good. Lou couldn't get it over Wetzel on the putback.
Didn't happen in the paint. Can't get it, and they win it back. They gave up 75% from the field.
That's crazy.
For the Breakers. New Zealand were 9 of 10 from 2-point territory in that.
Debo using the Frank screen. Now he's going to go to work on another next star in Dieng. Gets himself a shot he liked. Unfortunately, no good. Now it's Dieng the other way. Wants the push. Kicks it.
5 of those are layups. One's a little floater from in front of the rim. And now they've taken it beyond 3-point territory, and everybody's feeling good.
Abercrombie couldn't get it to go. Dieng, that'll be an offensive foul. As he... Trimming wants to break down Wetzel. Great D by the big fella. Last couple of possessions for the Bullets. Majok just wants to pull it in his next start. Couldn't finish it when he got to where he wanted to be. The Wild.
Just getting our man Damo, if he's down there, to check on Mitch Norton as well, because he has not, whether he's sustained a bit of an injury or something, haven't seen a lot of him.
Hit early in the face.
He's going to try and find him in the post. No, he's not. He's going to ignore him. Fraser for 3. Hasn't been his strong suit so far this NBL season, and that one misfires.
A good defensive possession by.
Fraser runs into a Finn Delaney defensive stance, and they'll start again. That is tough from Vic. It's a little mini heat check. Rather than kick it out, he takes it almost to cut this 3-point lead even a little closer. Dieng spins on Lawhead. Great defense. He was able to pick it back up. And now Cotton's going to push.
Detch stepped it in, tough floater on the run, missed it. The Breakers get a stop. Early momentum's going to be huge for the away team. Try the little move that didn't quite work. Up fake was delightful from Detch, but he didn't get it to drop when halfway down. Good little battle, that one. That rattles out.
Yeah, 3 bites at the cherry there. Adelaide up double figures in the offensive reach.
Just playing physical with their chest, with their hands out. No fouls called. Just make him finish over, and they couldn't do it. Dusty Hannahs puts it into the bottom of the rim. Hard to score that way. And the Breakers, what a win. First time they've had...
They've been let off the hook. Brisbane have actually come down and missed some that you'd normally expect them to make.
Just a tip in from Dieng.
Shot 100%. We've seen the case studies, as I continuously say. We've seen Josh Giddey, we've seen Melo, we've seen RJ. To come away, and listen, right now.
Moss in the corner. You're able to take some confidence out of tonight. 4 of 7 from the field.
Can he play defense? Can he play and do well, guard multiple positions? Can he rebound the ball?
Stripped of it, Majette. Second time around, unsuccessful. Dieng with another rebound.
They got, and they had the big diving room, and that little stagger screen. Vince finally gets a good look at it. And good things happen. They made good decisions out of it. They got the advantage. So their defense, they might be switching a lot of things.
Galloway got a piece of that.
So far in this one.
McVeigh picking pop for 3. He's off target. He's made it 9 of 21 from the field so far. Into the corner for Adams. Pulls up. Jumps out.
You live with that as the Breakers. Long contested 2s.
Steindl. Extra pass. McDaniel to Adams.
good by one, and Dieng played that perfectly. The way he could try and slow down Majet and then clock.
And the bullets. Start this third quarter. What needs to improve? Well, that needs to improve. What else needs to improve for Tasmania, Pete?
Well, you're going to knock down some shots, but if it's not there, back jumpers. 3 of 27 from 3, and they're going to come away with a win.
Deliberate miss to take care of it. Tasmania has to do it the hard way. They take the show to line.
Dowhite forced into a tough one. Never looked likely, and here's Vasiljevic quickly back up the floor toward the front of the rim, and Dieng puts a stop to it. Delaney with his foot on the...
So that was really good defense. Couldn't capitalise on the other end.
Bullock elevates off the mark. Good work there from Ousmane Dieng with the body. Has to keep Glover at bay and grab the rebound. Kept the Kings at bay in this third quarter, eating into the advantage. But again, they tried their luck from three-point territory unsuccessfully, and the putback wouldn't go for Dieng. 3 triples in the opening quarter, and only 4 since then. So Adams penetrates, searching inside unsuccessfully, and Dieng with a loose ball rebound. Off to Seaver. Laney needs help, provided by Jalen Adams. Shot clock to 2. Adams can't convert from deep. Athletic work from Ousmane Dieng to grab the rebound. Number 6 for him in that category.
Works well off the ball. Yes, can space out, and he's getting better at knocking down the open 3, but his work getting down into the dunker's spot and cutting to the rim at that career high 26 in the win over Melbourne United, doing a...
It's been an 11-4 run ever since as they've turned it up on D. Turnover there, but started to get themselves back in this game. Late in the clock, and
Dan Shamir believes there's time. Referees believe there's time, and
gets them out of trouble.
Dieng. Didn't know where to go. Believes he got a little nudge. And he Wetzel. Dieng loses it.
On the court right now, but just give him and Hugo Basson as much time as you possibly can to give him that chance. And there's a little shuffling of the feet. And he's one that's also grown when he...
A little over 4 minutes out from three-quarter time. Both teams a bonus now.
Travel.
Ousmane Dieng called for the...
Defensively, otherwise this is just going to go back and forth.
Seaver, Dieng, travelled again.
Gee whiz, a couple of turnovers, both these teams in a position just to try and get...
Floater from in front of the rim. And now they've taken it beyond 3-point territory, and everybody's feeling good.
Abercrombie couldn't get it to go. Dieng, that'll be an offensive foul as he ran over Tanner Krebs after a couple of threes early in this quarter. Wetzel.
How they moved that ball.
At some point, though, Cope, someone has to have a look at the basket. They turned a couple down there.
Will get undone in this final quarter if they give up easy looks like that.
Dieng couldn't find Wetzel.
Breakers need a bucket. 12 unanswered points in this quarter. That's turned over.
And for me right there, the young fella has to shoot that shot. They're playing way off you.
Been a little unlucky in some of their contests, but there, but not quite. The ball out of his hands. They haven't looked the same with his when, you know, he's got to lock so many minutes at the point when he's not available on the point. They give him a rest. The team doesn't look as smooth. So I think it'll
Orlando's affiliate. He'll be keen to get back there.
Defense do well, guard multiple positions. Can he rebound the ball?
Stripped of it, Majet. Second time around, unsuccessful. Chance for him to get some more minutes. Has certainly been out of this New Zealand rotation this year. The travel.
Happy feet there from Dieng.
Dieng. Such a big start to the game. Certainly fatigue setting into that young man. We get down to Anthony Stewart.
As soon as the Breakers take a quick shot or a poor shot, it might be a flop warning. I think that's coming. Oh, no.
This has been as poor as I've seen the New Zealand Breakers in quite some time. That
was an exceptional last season. Most improved player runner-up in 2021. Here's Dieng working on a career high tonight. Coughs it up, went to Wetzel and didn't give him much to work with.
Oh, poor decision there. Peyton Seaver was open in the corner.
Something cheap to get yourself going, feel good about what lies ahead, rather than just coming down and letting one fly from the three-point line.
Pocket picked early, and Besson saw Jessup stream away from him.
Here is McVeigh. Magnay. Felt he had a mismatch. The lob was pretty poor, and now the Breakers will turn it over and straight back the other way.
And Schmier, he's not happy at all.
So you just got to come in and do your thing and put your stamp on that team early. Practice a lot more. Do extras. Talk to the coach.
25 from downtown for him now.
It's Peyton Seaver checking in. Looked good in his return from injury. We'll get to his numbers shortly. Agata screaming up the court for Melbourne.
It makes go off very happy out of the quarter-time break.
Breakers 16 points in the opening quarter. Kenyon gets downhill.
Putting this game on ice.
This one, Dieng picks up the dribble. Needs help. Poor pass. I think it was intended for Wetzel. It was so far away from him, I'm not sure. A good hustle.
And that was New Zealand last week in Adelaide.
Oh,
similar tonight. Turnover New Zealand.
Get it back. Adnam steps in, high off the glass, delivers.
beautiful take. Nice float off the glass and another turnover.
Wow. See if Adnam can make
base and get that floater.
Ousmane Dieng, Joe Chi right with him, and turnover. Beautiful D from Joe Chi. Seventh.
Make that seventh offensive rebound. Oh my goodness. You're talking about making an impact, coming back after missing a whole year.
Stolen by Ryan Brockhoff. Just some trouble in paradise here for the
two. You need to watch a guy like him and get your inspiration from him.
Dieng had too much experience in front of him. Cam Glidden low. Seaver saves it. Clock winding down. The 18-year-old stripped. Had Joe Chi in his grill.
Bart skips ahead for Dieng. He'll fancy his chances. But he put the shoulder down and went straight through the middle of Ruben Tauranga.
And that's a good example. Dieng's an issue, and here he gets the mismatch. Goes to work on Smith-Milner.
Got past him and tried to involve Galloway. Missed him. Well, in round 14, 2 years ago, we saw just a little sample of how important he is on the offensive glass.
At that point in time, he was just on a tear, wasn't he? He had 39.
Shot clock at 9. Cotton, scoreless so far. Trying to get Hodgson involved. It was knocked away. Dieng.
Down, full head of steam. Missed a little finger roll he probably should have made. And again, Dieng so active on defense. He goes all the way. Machado trying to weave his around this defense, but Dieng again.
Yeah,
it's going to lead to a nice little throwdown. One-hander by the next star.
And this is just an impressive.
Here's Pinder. Now Kenny guarded by Randall. Shot clock again down the 5 shot clock. They're flirting with it again.
There's no angle to throw that pass. How could you throw that? If anything, look for a high-low.
Contact on that one either.
Here's a chance for Ousmane Dieng to show some athleticism. With the one hand, throws it down.
Big last 7.5 minutes. Patterson wants to break down Wetzel. Wetzel did a pretty good job. Now Dieng will push. He's got Basson for help, who just lays it in with the left.
Game of round 14. It's a short rest. We're back on Thursday for Melbourne and Perth at John Cain Arena.
Good help defense right there by Randall, stepping in.
Bark runs the floor. So Vic Law really hurt the Brisbane Bullets. He's been a fabulous replacement.
Could not have scripted a better replacement. Yep. Well done, Sam McKinnon and their team to come up with him.
And it's stolen away again by Siva, who gets up. Little flush to finish off, and then Dieng picks the pocket too. So
I think he was going to shoot that first one wide open. I'm not sure whether he fumbled it or maybe the ball was a little slippery. Let's go with that, because the turnover there for Jackson Bay. Because he was wide open in the end. I know he's trying to be good for grab.
Here is McVeigh. Magnay felt he had a mismatch. The lob was pretty poor, and now the Breakers will turn it over straight back to the...
And it'll be New Zealand who lead at three-quarter time. 6.
Six from the field, Zipper 4 from the three-point line to start the Breakers. Dieng, Siva, good D. Dieng went back and got it, and then Dieng said no thank you.
Real good hands by Siva.
Dieng so averaging a little over double figures the last couple of games at a really good rate.
Digba blocked. Galloway again. He had 4 of them on Saturday. Got some.
Was expecting him to go to the cup though. Couldn't reel it in. Martin at close range. Can't finish it initially. Stays with it. Well done. Great defense from Ousmane Dieng there against a bigger opponent.
But early. Weak. McDaniel. Gonna let it go.
Dieng, great block. Again, the length.
McCarron blocked, followed by Ousmane Dieng.
Action on second cuts, he would be awesome in that type of action.
Will Perth get it in? Blanchfield.
The lead is 6. Drimick pulls up. That makes him feel, what's there, Abercrombie? The lead's 5, we're under a minute. Drimick.
Some separation of the Wildcats.
Law gets a McDowell White miss, and
Hugo Bosson goes into the keyway, and those little floaters are the ones.
Oh my goodness!
Step back, a little short.
He takes on the injured man. Wetzel feeds it back out to Bairstow.
The ball ticking over.
And of the 0 of 13, he was 0 of 9 from the 3.
It's Patterson involved. He goes back to Kadee at the top of the key. Mitchell sharp shot. Great supporters of the NBL and basketball in this country. Great people, Latrobe Financial. Steindl for 3. Not that time, not hustle. Galloway changed that shot and they kick it out to McIntosh up top.
Well, exactly right. They just keep going with it. And yes, right now, you see Jalen Adams going under as they try and go under Vasilievich. That's not a man you...
Shy, is he, Ousmane Dieng?
I know he's been inconsistent and hasn't shown a whole lot this year, but from all reports, a lot of NBA teams are still very high on his potential.
Kings just steadied the ship here. Back to a double-figure advantage. Adams working on Wetzel. Nothing on offer. Swakala bullet. Straight line 3 to 10 here for Jalen Adams. A patient Jalen Adams. 3 and a bit minutes played in the final quarter. They get Vodanovic inside. An outside Swakala bullet.
Raw, very strong.
He's very engaged. He plays every play. He's using his voice, and as I say, he gets up the floor and he does it well. So the Kings,
I say it. We'll head downstairs shortly. Dan Mays back out. Harry Froling gave the three some thought, handed it up. That'll do.
Full of energy and full of momentum with the lead at 14. Oh my! Midget might have got away with something. A violation or two. Can Adams make him pay?
Against the water department.
Yeah.
Couldn't put you out.
Couldn't put me out.
Hot as a pistol.
Regarded by Joey the janitor. He's Kenyan for three. They are letting
From him, you wanted to see more from him, Coach. That's a good start.
He's athletic. He does all the little things that a team needs.
Adams in space. Dellavedova trying to find a way through. It's late in the clock here for United. Golding from well beyond the offensive rebound. Can they get bang for buck? Yes, they was aggressive but couldn't finish off. Here's Sobey in transition, pull up three. Why is that, Liam? They're giving up 91 points a game, and there are a whole bunch of other defensive ratings that aren't good for New Zealand. Is it effort? Is it intent? Is it structure? Franks with him, they made life difficult. Then Sobey gets the three up.
And because you beat them one way, now you beat them the next way. Let's see if they go back to it in the next few minutes.
Patterson for three. From the corner, Jason Randall still yet to find his first bucket. Steindl, catch and shoot three.
shot clock to single digits. Dellavedova picks it up. Barlow hands over. Golding, turn and shoot from Timmins. Playing in the absence of Tom Abercrombie. He's injured once more. They get Golding an open look.
It just takes the pressure off the whole group offensively.
Here he is, catch and shoot.
Mike got a massive future the next start.
And he's going to continue to get better as the season progresses.
For the bucket. Craig, he's nearly up and down. Liafa from outside. He fills it. Big saved by Adam. Back to Craig.
That's inexcusable at this part of the game to get it board.
COVID and said it's really knocked him around. It's going to take him a little while to get his strength back. So shout out to Shamir, Matt Walsh, the majority owner.
And Glenn. Big night at the office, 22 points so far for Xavier Munford. And he might add another three to Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Mitch Creek, a Victorian. NBA for Brooklyn and Minnesota. And he hands this one over the top teams. Wow. This season. Liafa sent back out. The shake and bake action didn't
follow the lane.
I've seen a lot of that from Rob Lowe in the last couple of years. Broke off. Not that time. Creek wants to back in on McDowell White, then dump it out for Munford.
Up to help out, he's going to get a whole bunch of finishes right there at the rim.
Breakers out by two. Brokoff he can't get it to go. Been a quiet start to his career as a breaker. Adams at the other end. If I'm right.
Jeez, that was. I had him in the All-NBL first team in those very early predictions. Great to see Matua Maker out there for.
Galloway late in the clock for Sydney. 5-year-old out of Maryland. Cooks shovels something out for Maker.
Is compared to a lot of other different leagues around the world and how it's officiated.
Oh, Delhi in the block. Trying to go to work on Besson. Holds his own. 3-point attempt from the corner.
Five-point game. Cotton
Wagstaff read it nicely off the rim. He doesn't finish. Hodgson takes care of business. Here's Kevin White, 35th birthday today. Shout out to Kev. Been a mainstay here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Back in, Wagstaff. Passed it straight to Dan Shamir.
One flash.
A reminder tomorrow night, round 19 continues. Tasmania will take on Cairns. And doubleheaders Saturday and Sunday. Travers with... Here's Hodgson. Wetzel would not move. And then got a hand. Made it safe. It's a jump ball situation.
To get 2 points.
He's ugly. But the rookie figured out a way. Good pass.
Zipper 4 from the three-point line to start the Breakers. Dieng, Seaver, good D. Dieng went back and got it, and then Dieng said no thank you. For a teammate, Benny Ayres going to give it inside to Pinder at 9 of his own in the first quarter.
On 7 of 11 shooting.
Good news here as well, Janu Pinder pacing the sideline. There's another turnover. What Noi for the Taipans. Machado loses it. Here's Pinder. Got the mismatch. Seaver on his back. Tries to dump it off. Does it well. That'll count. Keanu Pinder is making one.
Guarantee, though I wasn't there, that the Tasmania Jack jumpers would not have given up their home change rooms, because when New Zealand hosted this, you an idea of what they're up against. And difficult for everyone, but on New Zealand, you really do feel for them. Machado with it, shot clock in red numbers. Good penetration and just too nimble there for Wetzel. Needed Machado exploring. Now spinning back to the middle. And it wouldn't work for him. The tip-in does for Bulls season. 13 points, he's top 10 in the league in assists and leads the league in steals. There's a lot to like about what he brings to the table.
Yanni Wetzel, I think, needs to see more of this ball. Get more involved in it. He's 4 or 5 from the field. And
he's got 6 points on the night. The lead is 4. Drimic, can he reply? He can't. Dieng, great offensive board. That'll count for the Breakers. That I can tell you. Wetzel only has the 3, so he remains out there. Kadee had an outstanding night. Great little pass again. This time, Franks. That'll count.
6ers and got up 20-odd. Might have been 22, 24. And eventually in the second half, it dried up.
Defensive player in the league. Here's Hodgson, his first game back.
Did well enough to travel, didn't he?
He did. Now he's into the double team, but it was to no avail.
In first-team All-NBL. Explain that.
I don't think he'll be the MVP. He's been amazing. Great pass inside. That's going to count as well.
That causing the turnover.
Law, mid-range.
Aaron. Detch. Single-figure shot clock. DJ casually flicks it up.
Perspective. Just, they were raffling it there, the Breakers. Open guys standing on the arc. Ready to knock it down, and there's Wetz.
Going those sentiments about Will McDowell-White. I spoke to him pre-game, and he's still not 100%. Nice tip in there from Hiram Harris.
Harvey King. Back to Soto. Oh, he went for the big jam, but it was
3.5 on the account, throwing the ball in. He was just trying to tell Kai Soto and Daniel Johnson to deny the pass. Ended up getting...
Season of breaking strain for the 36ers in this game was a breaking strain. Bairstow with the behind the...
Kadee got away from Randall. That's too easy.
Great take. Way to...
And the strategy that goes in makes it hard.
Good Trimic. Little drop off was clever for
most, no, I shouldn't say anywhere. A lot of countries, if you've got a family that's worth $1 billion, you can generally find some good wherever.
Their defense might be switching a lot of things.
Oh, he got a piece of that.
This is what you need to do, and so far he's answered the call.
Waits to the basket again.
not going to get credit those.
Was on. Wetzel was expecting him to go to the cup, though. Couldn't reel it in. Martin at close range. Can't finish it initially. Back.
And the other two ended up being 3 balls that got them going, Vasiljevic and Angus Glover. So they've got to secure those 50-50, especially on the other team's home floor.
9 points in that third period. But can't be all that confident with what we've seen with the Sydney Kings in the past, and there's a good start in the fourth.
There's Jalen Adams. And they're reluctant to go from the 3. Cooks does. Jarrell Martin tries the tipping. Glover on.
Now, Bridegorge probably wouldn't mind a foul like that down the other end of the floor. At least they're up, contesting, trying to put some ball pressure on, push them out of something.
Jet, shot clock down the 5, 16.7 assists on Friday, but Adams was the star. He's got to let it fly as the shot clock expires in the... Jack Jumpers have an opportunity to extend a 7-point lead. Here's Magnay. Got the mismatch, takes the buff in the end. The great D by Martin.
Play the right way with the maturity of the way he's game, which is definitely true, but
How to put it up.
how often do you have what pass?
Beautiful pass. Great.
The water, the pass.
50 plus.
Y'all's on fire.
I think that's my question.
Another great pass with Jet. Couldn't finish it this time. Tough lob for McDaniel. Great help D.
Plenty of time here for the Brisbane Bullets. Patterson wants to take on that responsibility. Got past Seaver. Misses the...
Minutes on the floor.
3 of 8 for his 8 points. Kadee late in the...
Bit 0 for 6 from long range.
First possession is a good one for the Jack Jumpers.
Now Machado on the... Really the aggressive... What's that, 35 overall. Trimming. Tough.
Hugo Bosson goes into the keyway, and those little floaters are the ones...
Oh, my goodness.
Step back, a little short.
Detch gets his chance. Gets inside, almost rejected. Banks.
Board ticking over.
And of the 0 of 13, he was 0 of 9 from the 3.
It's a short rest. We're back on Thursday for Melbourne and Perth at John Cain Arena.
Good help defense right there by Randalls.
Shot clock down to 4. Adams got to get to work on Dieng. He's now got to let it on himself. Tough. How long does it take to acclimatise into a new league?
Well, it depends. Do you come into the league pre-season in the beginning?
And then when you come off the bench, you want to prove to the coach that you are a starter. So that's why guys like that.
Nice drive from Bruce.
4 or 5 shots straight away.
Guarded by the longer arms of Ousmane Dieng. Floater's good. Tyler Harvey with his... McCarron blocked. Followed.
COVID.
Make it.
Yeah.
Or make it to the game.
No, make it.
Oh,
He was weak.
He
He
was
was down bad.
McDowell White. Jenny Screen downstairs.
Just a further update, gentlemen, on Peyton Seaver. He actually strained his hamstring.
Try to go one-on-one. It's not going to work. You're not equipped to beat this team one-on-one.
Alpha takes it himself. Saved by Adnam. Back to Creek.
That's inexcusable at this part of the game to get it board.
Good Tarangi. Now he's in red time, and he's running out, and he can't finish it. Ignite the offers. 22 points so far for Xavier Munford. And he might add another 3 to teams. Wow. This season. Liafa sent back out. The shake and bake action didn't
go Besson, 24 points. Leading scorer in the game. 2 more at the moment. Sydney lead by 1. Every quarter matters in the Bruton Loggins Cup. Bawali Bales squeezes.
Brad Newley looking to explore in transition. Ousmane Dieng doesn't know about Brad Newley. That's what he's been doing.
Zipper 4 from the 3-point line to start the breakers. Dieng, Seaver, good D. Dieng went back and got it, and then Dieng said no thank you.
To the first half where no more than 7 points has separated these teams. Shot clock at 10. Ooh, Qual. Elevated quick.
Digba. using the Frank screen. Now he's got to go to work on another next star in Dieng. Does get shots out there. Trimming over Dieng. Got us to go. A little run.
Detch gets his chance. Gets inside, almost rejected. Banks, Pullmeyer, read his mind. Sweeps it to the corner. And it rattles its way.
Double figures the last couple of games at a really good rate.
Digba blocked. There's Tamari Wigness on the floor for the Bullets as well. Nice take from Digba.
For his Instagram.
Nice spin.
15% from deep this season, 6 of 39 for Dieng. Trying to shoot his way out of a slump there. Good work from Bazinyi.
Keep going under, keep tempting him to let it fly. Just let him off the hook, and then just gets a bit lost there on the defensive end. Good recovery.
Jack jumpers had certainly had a few teammates that also were struggling. But he has that capacity to get it going from the three-point line.
Cleveland in that end.
23 points now. Cleveland goes to work, gets in it.
Needs a pause.
Cleveland gets his way inside and gets the lucky bit.
They're going to give you that. You've just got to be good enough to knock it down.
Tonius Cleveland been given more rain.
Right around the rim, where he's been piling on the points.
Nice move, Mason Peatling.
We said Lamar Patterson, Robert Frank, those guys need to get involved in the second half. Patterson's got 11 now. Frank's
Fourth quarter time. Melbourne with a 7-point lead as Ely exploring. Penetration came.
And players had a lot to say themselves. Then Gorge just came in and said stops and rebounds, and we're back in this game.
At the other end of the court.
Guarded by the longer arms of Ousmane Dieng. Floater's good. Tyler Harvey with his... Ratan Mays with 6 points. Cleveland, I should say, my apologies. Out to Reith. He wants to try and get inside. Froling can't tip it in. McCarron blocked. Followed this afternoon for the French next start. Hannah's head down to the cup. Drives and scores.
Milks the clock down. Breakers should get it back. Adnam steps in. High off the glass. Delivers. Dow White. Jenny screen downstairs.
Just a further update, gentlemen, on Peyton Siva. He actually strained his hamstring.
Try to go one-on-one. It's not going to work. You're not equipped to beat this team one-on-one.
Alpha takes it himself.
Bogey.
Oh, what do we do?
3-point game. Look out. Brockhoff gets a chance to play his role and does his 46-45. And yeah, the Breakers will get it back. Adnam takes it to the hole. Rejected, but fatful bucket. 2-point game.
Beautiful floater by Peyton Siva.
Number 10 from Adnam as well. Start, when these two teams met last week, he was almost the difference. Hands it up. Lialfa off with a teardrop off the fit. Southeast Melbourne finished captain. Adnam to Glidden to Adnam. 5 on the shot clock. Steps it in on the 18-year-old who got in his grill.
and work for a better shot, we might be able to get something better. So it's very much a work in progress for him and his group. Looks like he's just going to try and run it off.
Munford gets inside and had his shot blocked at the moment. Sydney lead by 1. Every quarter matters in the Bruton Loggins Cup. Bawali Bales squeezes.
Brad Newley looking to explore in transition. Ousmane Dieng doesn't know about Brad Newley. That's what he's been doing.
He's been great. They've really loved his energy and his personality around the group, and he and Michael Frazier, ironically enough, have actually really bonded as Hodgson.
Shot clock at 9. Cotton, scoreless so far. Trying to get Hodgson involved. It was knocked away.
Digba Using the Frank screen. Now he's going to go to work on another next star in Dieng. Does. Great pass. Too easy. And it's a third left-hand. Here we go. Shot clock down to 7. So they're going to get to work through Lamar Patterson right at Dieng, who did a pretty good job defensively.
Double figures the last couple of games at a really good rate.
Digba blocked. Khadib from the top of the key. Changed his mind halfway through then. There's Tamari Wigness on the floor for the Bullets as well. Nice take from Digba.
They keep going under, keep tempting him to let it fly. Just let him off the hook, and then just gets a bit lost there on the defensive end. Good recovery.
Full of energy and full of momentum with the lead at 14. Oh, move it! Midget might have got away with something. A violation or two. Can Adams make him pay?
Leave that with me, Ken.
Stay down. Stay down.
Adams crosses over Dieng, takes a little bump.
Try to get Seaver involved.
Wetzel was open again, though. Same shot you scored on.
Nice pass, Bruce, to Martin, who had the seal on Dieng.
And this shot to Delaney. When they kick it to you, don't drive in the middle. That's not your game. You're open. Take the three.
They've got a problem here, the Breakers.
Off the bench. If they're going to perform like this, that's the formula.
Barlow forced into a tough shot. We go back to the round 3 game. It was all second half where Melbourne got the business done. Peatley offensive rebound.
One more now. One more. Finish now. Yes,
Can they get bang for buck?